Hey everyone, welcome to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. What are we talking about tonight? Well, Sony may have been breached. So Sony's investigating the situation after a hacking group threatened to sell allegedly stolen data. Ransomware group ransomed.vc claims to have successfully breached Sony Group and is threatening to sell a cache of data stolen from them. While the claims remain unverified, Cybersecurity Connect reports that the relative ransomware newcomer has racked up an impressive amount of victims since bursting out onto the scene. They say, and this is the group, they say we have successfully compromised all of Sony systems. We won't ransom them, they say. We will sell the data due to Sony not wanting to pay. Data is for sale. That's what they say. That's what that ransom group says. According to the Cybersecurity Connect, the group has posted some proof of hacked data, although it says this is not particularly compelling information on the face of things. It includes what appears to be screenshots of internal login page, an internal PowerPoint presentation, several Java files, and a file tree of the leak, which usually includes fewer than 6,000 files. The group listed a post date of September 28th, the day that we're recording this, after which, if nobody purchases the data, it will presume, if no one purchases the data, ransomed.vc will publish the data wholesale. Ransomed.vc is said to be both a ransomware operator and a ransomware as a service organization. So it claims to be a secure solution for addressing data security vulnerabilities within companies. It is also to be operating in strict compliance with GDPR and data privacy laws. In cases where payment is not received, we are obligated to report a data privacy law violation to the GDPR agency, so says the group. Most of the members of this group reportedly operate out of Ukraine and Russia. So, Sony back in 2011 had a massive breach that resulted in personal data of approximately 77 million accounts being compromised and servers being taken offline for 23 days. So, if this is true, this is not good for Sony, right? Since they had a breach before. Now, it seems like this group is more of like trying to, in a sense, it almost seems like they're not doing it for, well, they are, but it kind of in a sense of selling the data for profit, but also trying to showcase to companies that they are not as secure, right? Saying like, hey, we were able to compromise your data, you need to work on this. And this is the same thing that kind of happened in 2011, where it was shown that, Sony didn't secure their data good enough that they were able to be hacked. And, if this is true, that they were hacked again, that just looks bad for them. I mean, every company out there gets hacked once in a while, or at least one time in their life, right? But it's good for the company to be able to put in security procedures to be able to avoid something like that happening, especially something like Sony or Xbox or Nintendo that has a lot of customer information. Any company that has a ton of customer information. There's a ton of customers that use these services that have credit cards and personal data stored on them and within their accounts and things of that nature. And you don't want that as an individual, and especially as a company, you don't want your consumers' information to be compromised. That's bad for the consumer. It's also bad for the company, right? So if this is true, this is just another bad thing for Sony to have to go through, where if it ends up being the case that, they did breach the company and the company's not willing to pay for that data, and that data gets out there and it ends up being vital information, that's going to look even worse for Sony. So Sony is currently investigating the situation. Who knows what will happen? Maybe they will find out it's legit and kind of try to compromise by either paying or doing what they need to do, or, getting out ahead of it for better PR purposes, things of that nature. We'll see. Today's the deadline, the day we're recording this, which is September 28th. And, I'm sure we'll get more information as the weeks follow on what ended up happening with this. But Shane, what do you think of Sony potentially getting their data stolen?
I'm not potentially surprised. Sony, I was really upset and mad, just like every other gamer that got screwed with them when, they didn't tell anybody for the longest time that, hey, your stuff got out there because, they hacked our stuff and now yours is out there. So, they gave out like games, and they gave out PlayStation Plus free for a while and things like that. And I I have this thing with hackers. If you are smart enough to be able to hack and get into information and all that, use it for a good thing. Use it for something that's good for humanity and society. Find out what's going on with these corrupt politicians and things like that. Don't. Why are you messing with the gamers? I mean, yes, Sony's a large corporation. Yes, Sony is. They're a greedy corporation, but leave my stuff alone. I mean, I don't put my credit card information anywhere on Sony ever, because Sony's, I know they've been hacked way more than what they've announced. But I always buy PlayStation cards, because Sony, I will never trust them to put my card on their service, period. I don't even like doing that on Xbox or anybody else for that matter. But a lot of times you don't have options if you want those services. So I have to, play the risk game. But I think Sony's not going to give these guys money for not releasing their stuff. I mean, that's just going to entice people to do it again. So the problem is that's my information on there. That's your information. Granted, I don't put credit cards or anything, but that there could be your information, my information, developers' information, developer code, all that stuff. I don't know what all was leaked. Nobody really does. But what these hacks eventually do is they hurt real people. They hurt regular people, not corporations. I think these people should use their skills for good, not evil. Yes, Sony's a kind of a crappy company, but the customer base doesn't deserve to have their stuff sold. So I just worry that there's a lot more into it that's not being said, and we're going to find out later that Nick's now living in Abu Dhabi or something, and he's got 40 credit cards and a new wife with some new boobs, because he paid for it all, because that's where he lives now. And it's a scary world that we're going to have to deal with. What do you think? I mean, do you think Sony is probably hiding some things from us, like they did?
I'm sure they are. I mean, they, any company wants to try to get ahead of things and make sure that, that things don't get out in the ether, because customers get weary, right? And that hurts the corporation. But in the same time, customers need to know when these things happen and make sure that their data is secure. And they, as it is right now, we expect that when we put our information, these companies want it. So we put our information in there in the hopes, and with the idea that these companies are going to make sure that information is secure, right? and making sure that it's not going to get. Now, I mean, they can't prevent everything, so things happen, but they need to make sure they have things in place to prevent that. And then if it does happen, the case that does happen, to make sure to get out ahead of it, make sure customers know, and do everything they need to do to make sure to prevent it from the future, as well as take care of it in the now, right? So, we don't know if these guys have their information. They say they do. Sony will investigate it and find out for sure, and then we'll probably know information about what Sony's going to do about it and what information they have, right? This is all of Sony. So Sony's not just PlayStation, right? Sony's a lot of things. So it could be nothing to do with, they might have some stuff in regards to, because they say all of Sony. So they definitely have some stuff in regards to PlayStation, but is it customer account data? It may not be. It may be internal documents or various things like that, right? We don't know the scale currently of what it is, but if it comes out to find out the scale is pretty much what happened back in 2011, that's not going to look good for them. I mean, that's not really going to hurt them as far as like all of a sudden, consumers are going to stop buying from them because, no matter what happens, that doesn't seem to stop people. But, to some customers and to some other potential businesses, right? It's not just the customers either. It's like other people, partnerships and things like that. They're going to be a little weary to work with Sony or to partner up with them if they're having problems with information getting out and leaking and getting ransomed and stolen from them, right? And that might hurt Sony in that regard. Not so much maybe consumers, but definitely with other businesses and partnerships and things like that. That might hurt them in those aspects. So, I mean, every hacker out there has different goals, right? These guys seem to, of course, like I said, they want to sell the data, but they also are going to, they say they're going to turn them into the, was it the GDPR? Yeah, GDPR. Which is Global Data Protection Regulation. So,
I'm going to steal your crap,
the World Police,
but I'm going to turn you in so I look a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Maybe it'll, maybe it's showcasing that Sony didn't really do much in 2011 breach, right? And that might be the problem, and if they get some in trouble where they they're like, oh, we better secure our stuff better this time because we don't want this happening again. I mean, I wouldn't think they would want to happen after 2011, but I'm sure they did some security things. But if they become lax, right, in that, then that's a potential problem. And that's not just a problem for Sony, it's a problem for all companies out there, right? Even Microsoft and Nintendo should, take note of this and make sure that all their stuff is secure and everything like that, because just because Sony got hacked doesn't mean that you're not next.
Yep, little thing popped up on your PlayStation going, Avast, you need an update. So that's how they know they've, that's time to upgrade their security as, Avast pops up or, Norton or whatever the hell the big companies are now. I just want Sony to stop letting this happen. Hit the update button on your goddamn computers once in a while so we can have, better security. Plain and simple. And like I said, it is definitely not, just PlayStation. Wasn't it North Korea that hacked their movie division because Sony made that movie about The Interview where they interviewed Kim Jong-un and, they hacked, oh, we're going to release your movie. And Sony was like, okay. So, it's, if you got those technical abilities to hack a big corporation like that, go do something good with it. Seriously, come on. Do something good with it. Find out where Hoffa's buried or some shit. I don't know. Just do something better than, finding out what the next Spider-Man movie is going to be. Shit.
Yeah, unblur the pictures of Bigfoot. Give me a whole picture of Nessie.
Not what I was expecting.
That's what we need. So that's my job for you all out there. I want pictures of Spider-Man.
Don't stop corruption. Unpixelate Nessie.
Unpixelate Nessie and Bigfoot. They deserve to have a great picture. And damn people out there don't know how to hold a camera. All right. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the future with Sony as far as that, as far as this compromise goes, and if it's legit. But do you have anything else you want to add to this, Shane?
I can't get Nessie out of my head.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Make sure to hit the like button for Bigfoot and subscribe for Nessie. They all want you to do these things, so help them out. Unblur those pictures and hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell notification so we can see the UFOs. Helps you see all of our videos when they come out. And thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.